Hello and welcome to another reading. It's me, Mixcraft Misery Coley, and I'm here with a really fun idea for a fun summer reading. So I thought I'd do like sunglasses because that's like obviously the epitome of like summer sunshine. Although today it's very, very overcast and rainy, so I'm not really feeling the summer vibes, but hopefully with these cards you can find out everything that's in store for you this summer. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to think about it, to decide which one you want to go for. We have group 1 here with the white sunglasses, group 2 with these kind of cute little 70s inspired kind of aviator type of ones, and then we have group 3 with these very cute kind of Jackie Kennedy type of big glasses. I'm a big sunglass aficionado, in case you can't tell. These all come from my personal collection. But anyway, so I'll give you a minute to decide. Take a deep breath and you can pick whenever you feel ready. I am going to be doing our usual kind of thing. We have some tarot cards from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. We have one tarot card from the Art Nouveau Tarot. We have some angel cards as well. We've got our usual unicorns and our healing angels, but I found 2 extra other ones as well. Sorry about the background noise, but I found 2 extra other ones as well when I was actually looking for some candles to light to get me in the zone, that were clearly from my mom's personal collection that I did not know that she owned. So we have some extras as well. We have the Ask an Angel deck, which has some specific angels that are going to give you specific messages. And we also have advice from angels as well. So lots of stuff going on with the angels for you this summer as well too. So I'll give you a second to decide. Okay, let's go. All right, I'm going to come back with group 1 in a second. So group 1, here we go. This is your message. You picked the very cute little white sunglasses. I really like these actually. I don't wear them enough. They're very fun. Now we have a bunch of different messages here, so I'm just going to show you all the cards first and then we can kind of see where we're going with that. So when I was pulling out all the cards for this particular group, I was like, whoa, everything kind of fell out all at once. So I'm not 100% sure of the order, but we're getting there. I thought this was a really, really interesting reading. We've got, it's supposed to be 5 cards, but you got 6. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that. That one just snuck in there, I think. That 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups kept coming up in a few of these readings, so I was a bit like, wow, okay. We're having a very lucky summer, I suppose. And then we also have our little Art Nouveau mini tarot as well. I'll actually just put this over here so you can kind of see it a bit better. And then we have some advice from the angels as well. So we've got Angelic Connections, this one. And then we also have some unicorn messages. I love those, as you know. And then we have a really interesting one from the angels too. And we have focus as well. So we got a lot of things to discuss here, I think. So let's get into the tarot first and then we can figure out what's going on after with all the angel messages. Now again, a brief disclaimer with the angel thing. You know, obviously you don't have to believe in angels. You don't have to believe in any sort of, higher power or anything like that for any of these readings to make sense or to work. It's not exclusive for people who are of a specific faith or a specific belief or whatever. I totally appreciate that. These are just messages from, you can say, a spirit guide or a guardian angel or something like that, if that is something you'd prefer, some kind of a general spirit message. So with that, let's get into the tarot. Okay, so we have a lot going on here. We've got this, it's weird because we kind of start in such a like chaotic place and then we kind of, everything else is so like chill and nice. So whatever you're going on that's a bit stressful for you, I think that you'll be definitely finishing up with that soon. We've got the 7 of Wands here. Have a little look at that. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot as well, if you want to get it. I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that. I just really love this tarot deck and I use it all the time. But yeah, so this 7 of Wands, there's a sense of defensiveness. There's a sense of feeling like you kind of need to be on edge, that you need to kind of be very, defensive about stuff, like as if you think something is your fault. Now, I don't know if anything is your fault. I'm hoping not. But I feel like maybe you're always kind of assuming the worst in others and yourself. So I kind of feel like there's just a little bit of healing that needs to be done with that. There could be some actual conflict going on in your life as well that's kind of triggering some stuff. We've got like the Shadow Self card here too, and the Judgment card. So there could be something that's kind of triggering something within you that you kind of just need to heal a little bit as well. And I think that you're sort of getting there. You definitely are getting there over the summer, but I think right now where you are, you're getting there for sure. And you're getting you're feeling a little bit like the last gasp of like unhealed energy, which is like this defensive energy, which is like very kind of freaked out, angry kind of energy. But now we're moving out of that basically. And then we have this Page of Cups energy, which is like a very different vibe to this. This is super defensive, and then this is like a healing type of card. This vibe is very much like doing a little bit of that inner child work and kind of, getting back to stuff you would have done when you were a child, like that sort of play that you would have had when you were a child. So this is a very creative card as well. So maybe you've kind of been feeling a little bit like you need to get back into some creative pursuits you haven't done in a long time, like maybe used to draw a lot when you were younger or play an instrument or something, this might be something that it could be like a really good healing thing for you as well as part of this journey to kind of get out of this mindset of like defensiveness, of like stress, of, you know, like the knot in your stomach, to kind of really heal something there. With this is a very healing card as well, so there's a lot of healing that's kind of either been going on or will be going on over the summer, which is really nice. I think that's a great time to kind of heal, you know, like when we have long days and the world is very bright and there's lots of, you know, fresh fruit and things like that. It just feels like the world's a little more healed in a way. I don't know, even with everything going on in the world, I know, but I kind of just feel like it's a nice time to kind of do some healing as well, because it's a nice time of year. But yeah, there's going to be some healing here with this Page of Cups. This energy is very soft. It's a little bit of inner child work, which can't, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit like this when you're doing your inner child work, a little bit of that defensiveness, a bit of that anger coming up, and that's totally fine as well. Healing doesn't have to be soft. It doesn't have to be all love and light energy. It can be, you know, anger if you need to be angry, if you need to be sad, that's totally fine as well. But I definitely feel like there's a lot of this kind of inner child stuff coming up, a lot of this wanting to reconnect with yourself as you were as a child. So getting back into things that you liked, watching old movies that you liked, that kind of thing. This kind of comes up a lot in a lot of my readings. A lot of us are very disconnected from who we used to be. So I think that this is just that kind of I've always been that girl kind of energy going on. So I love that for you. And the same kind of energy coming through here with the Six of Cups. We have a lot of this kind of healing, but it's an outward sort of healing. So this would be kind of like an inward sort of healing, and this is like an outward sort of healing. So while we were kind of doing all that work on yourself in there with the Page of Cups, with all that, you know, inner child stuff, there's this Six of Cups energy, which is very like pushing that outwards. So the vibe is like, you know, looking after somebody else in a way. I get this a lot with people who are like teachers or who are in healthcare or something like that, some kind of a, maybe work with charity. It's this kind of a giving kind of a card. So I think a lot of people, maybe some of the people who are going to be getting this message will work in some of those occupations or want to work in some of those occupations. But it is that kind of vibe of people who care for others, like a traditional kind of caring role. You could also be a mother, you could also be, or a father, you could be a parent, because there is that kind of, you know, child and parent sort of energy going on there too. So I kind of feel like, yeah, like there's this, but it's healing it outward. So it's like, I would want to be, you know, the person that like child me would have wanted to have. So it's like you're seeing this, you know, younger person or more vulnerable person or whatever. Maybe if it's like charity, it's a charity close to your heart because it's something you've been through yourself, like, I don't know, something that's really affecting you, like maybe working with children or something. So it's like you would have wanted to have this, you would have wanted to have someone like you when you were a child basically going on. So there's a lot of that going on in the summer. Maybe social work as well could be something, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so it's definitely something like you want to make the world better because you wanted to be your own hero when you were a child. So you're kind of taking this inward stuff and pushing it outwards, and I think it's really, really good. I think it's really, really powerful. I think it really healed something within you, and so that's amazing. I'm happy that you're doing that. I think that's an amazing thing to do. And like I said, you are going to be good enough. You know, we've got this Ten of Cups. This energy is so happy. It's like the happiest card. It's a happy ever after kind of card. So you've got this lovely energy here of just like pure joy, pure summer sun, pure happiness, maybe some going out with the family kind of vibe. If that's something that you know, want to do. There's this beautiful kind of picnic energy, which is a very summery kind of energy too. So it just feels like you're going to kind of have a breakthrough in terms of your own healing and helping other people. Maybe you're getting some recognition as well for helping people or being a helpful person. And now you can kind of enjoy the spoils of it for the next little bit of the summer. It seems like you are a person who is very sweet and deserves a lot and maybe hasn't always gotten a lot off of people. Like maybe you've been overlooked or people around you just don't treat you the way that you really deserve to be treated. But it kind of feels like now you're kind of stepping into your power as such, and you're kind of like really kind of demanding that people treat you the way that you want to be treated, but also to kind of, it will just kind of naturally happen with the right people. I think that's a big lesson you're learning, that like maybe looking back on your, it's kind of one of those vibes where like you can kind of look back on your life maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, 5 years ago, with this Ten of Cups, and it's that energy of like, I'm so happy I'm here, I'm so happy I waited, I'm so happy that I got this kind of vibe, these people who actually get me, versus spending all my time with these people who make me defensive, make me feel like I just don't, you know, have an opinion that matters, or I'm not worth anything or whatever. So it could be like maybe you had family stuff going on in your life and now you have like a new family, like you've got better friends, you got your own, I don't know, children or something now. So it's this kind of energy of like getting to see how far you've come and to really appreciate how far you've come. That's a beautiful, beautiful card. So I'm really happy for you. Honestly, I am, because that's a really cool thing. don't know if you heard that little ding noise, but I almost accidentally set fire to something. So yeah, we're vibing here. Anyway, a lot of energy going on today, I think, in this reading. But anyway, so the next card we have is the Hierophant, and I love this card. I actually just did a reading literally just before this where we got the Hierophant and the Nine of Pentacles, and I shuffled a lot, so it wasn't like lazy shuffling on my part. It was obviously a message that you need to hear as well. So the Hierophant is all about kind of grounding yourself, calming yourself, and being very kind of like, you know, in your Zen era and things like that. And I think that's a beautiful thing to do, especially after this Ten of Cups vibe, because it's very much this vibe of like, you know, recognizing your gratitude as well with all this. So, you know, grounding yourself, being like grateful for the things that you do have and the things that you want, and opening yourself up to new possibilities. It seems like a really beautiful summer of just like seeing how lucky you are and how like all the good things that you do have, even if you feel like right now you don't have a lot of the good things, like if you don't have this big family to celebrate with, or you're still kind of in this zone. I think that you'll find things that will make you feel like this joy, make you feel like this kind of happy energy going on with these three cards. Like even if it's just a nice calm day or a nice yoga class or whatever it is, but it's something that like there will be connections with people, there will be, you know, recognition for your work, whatever it is that you do, volunteering if that's what you do as well. And it just seems like you're very at this point in your life where people are really getting it and seeing the vision, and you're seeing the vision, which is probably the most important part of it all. Yeah, with this Hierophant, like the energy is very much like, you know, zen, calm, chill. If you want to do some yoga, that's great. If you want to do a meditation class, that's amazing too. Or just meditate by yourself. You don't really do meditation classes now that I think about it. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. Maybe you're kind of getting into a more mindful practice, or you like to journal a little bit more. This is just confirmation to kind of keep doing that, keep that going. But yeah, I think it's like really, really positive. I think it's a really nice card and a really positive kind of way of doing things for sure in the next little while. We also have this Nine of Pentacles, which is just kind of reminding you to relax, take some time off, get that work-life balance going on. I think that sometimes people who are very like emotionally connected to their work because they want to be, you know, like doing so much for the community, for the world or whatever, you want to work all the time. You want, because you're like, it's my gift, you know, you want to work all the time. So you don't take any breaks. So now this is just a reminder, have a nice break if you can have one, or a little small break if you can as well. This card is all about, you know, chilling. It's about lounging in the sun, have a nice little glass of wine, drink responsibly of course. But yeah, just kind of relax. She's got a nice book. It's just like a really fun, summery, gorgeous energy of just being chill and calm. So I think that you're kind of overdue for maybe a day like that, or a weekend like that, or a long stretch like that, really. But I feel like, you know, you'll kind of get your vibe together with all that in the summer for sure. So a nice overall, a nice summer of like doing a bit of healing, getting some recognition for the work that you do, spending time with loved ones, and feeling very gratitude, like having a lot of gratitude, feeling very grateful for all the good things in your life and how, you know, far you've come, and really recognizing that in a really meaningful way. Yeah, lots more kind of chill vibes, you know, taking that little bit of a holiday, taking a bit of a break, and I think it's really, really nice for you. I love that. And then we have this little Art Nouveau mini here, which is just so cute. Let me get it up. I can't hold it. There we go. It is the Judgment card. It's a very beautiful illustration because it is that beautiful Art Nouveau kind of style. And it's really funny because I have the main tarot cards here too. And when I put them down, this was on the top. Judgment as well. How weird. So just a double sign, I guess, that, you know, you've got this Judgment card coming up too. Now, I'm sure that sounds quite scary because it's all this, you know, imagery of like the horn and like the end of the world kind of vibe. That's obviously not what it means. Imagine if I predicted the end of the world this summer via tarot cards here on this day. That would be crazy. I don't have that kind of power, don't worry. Imagine. But the Judgment card really does just remind us to kind of walk on our own path. You know, maybe the path that you want isn't what your parents would have wanted for you, or your grandparents would have wanted for you, or something that is totally, you know, you can't even imagine, like anyone you know has this going on or does this, or, you know, doesn't want the traditional things, if that's something you don't want. Or maybe because maybe if it is their family situation, like you have to cut certain people off, and that's just something that your family does not do. I'm using air quotes, can't really see them. But it's that kind of vibe of like, you're the kind of one that needs to kind of walk their own path and to be the first one that does this. So whether you're the first one to graduate college, or you're the first one to go to therapy, it's all kind of the same sort of energy here. So you're learning to kind of walk to the beat of your own drum in whatever capacity that means, and just kind of, yeah, like just letting yourself feel unique and enjoy the unique qualities of your own personality instead of trying to hide them all the time. I think this is kind of the main lesson of like probably the next year for you, but definitely the summer as well. Just kind of embracing all these different facets of yourself and giving yourself your flowers because you deserve them, and letting yourself relax a little bit more because it's not being taken away from you. It's going to be okay, basically. Okay, so now I'm going to do this angel advice card. They have all these different ones. This is the angelic connections. I didn't really understand these because I've literally never even seen them before, and suddenly they were in my house and I was like, okay. So yeah, so this is, if you want to know where heaven is, stop looking at your feet. That's an interesting one. It's kind of talking all about how we, you know, are very focused on the ground in front of us, but we miss so much of the beauty around us. So it's all about kind of like reconnecting with like nature and practicing awareness of like looking around. Don't miss things like the natural beauty of the world, butterflies, bees, that kind of thing, especially with the summer coming up. That seems like a very, you know, important with what's going on with the summer. I'll just hold it here so you can read the whole thing if you want to. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you right now. But I think it's a really interesting little kind of, you know, message as well to get to kind of, you know, be a little bit more mindful, kind of speaks to that a little bit, and to kind of take a step back and to just kind of, you know, look at the beautiful world around you, like the beautiful trees and nature and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of nature in these cards as well, very summary kind of reading, visually as well. So I definitely feel like that could be definitely a nice little kind of thing to remind yourself over the course of the summer. So I'll look at our unicorns. I'll kind of go like this way, I guess. Or should I? No, I'll go this way next, actually, because I'm trying to think of how I pulled them. So we have the angel message here, and this is a really interesting guy, okay? Now, he gets a bad rap, all right? This guy is Samael. Well, I guess he's not really a guy because angels are all kind of technically non-binary. Is that controversial to say? They don't really, like, you know, gender doesn't exist in the angelic plane. Is that what I said? Anyway, again, disclaimer with the angels, obviously this doesn't have to be anything, you know, to do with a particular belief system or whatever. So if that doesn't, you know, speak to you, that's fine. Also, this could just be a guide of some kind who has these same energies. So Samael is like, he's sort of like the bad boy of heaven, the bad boy of the angelic realms. Sometimes he's a little bit equated with another name that sounds like Samael, which would be kind of more like a Satan kind of name. So interesting. I don't think he's a bad guy. He's just a bit misunderstood. I personally think that he can be really good for healing, like the shadow self kind of thing. So if you are interested in the lore, have a look and look him up for sure. But I'm just going to get the guidebook and we'll talk about him and what it says there. So actually in this guidebook, they have a little like directory of the angels in the end of this, which I think is very interesting, but they kind of just describe him as like a fallen angel. He's kind of conflated a lot with like Lucifer, which I know might be a little scary to randomly throw in this very love and light cutesy pie reading, but you know, that's just part of it too. Like, you know, healing does have this shadow side. If we want to do this, we've got to do this, right? Like it can't all be sunshine and rainbows all the time. So I think this is just a reminder about that. It says like, through facing the shadow, we can dissolve underlying impulses that govern our lives, thereby allowing a deep and profound shift in consciousness to occur. We can become capable of standing whole, our integrity as we direct our lives forward. So it is like this kind of vibe of like needing to face the shadow. It says like reclaim full ownership and responsibility of our lives and give ourselves power to transform both ourselves and our lives into what we want them to be. So I think that's just a really powerful message about like how you can use the shadow to kind of, you know, integrate all these different parts of yourself and heal. You know, like I said, it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you are allowed to be angry, like this child energy here and this defensive energy here. Like you're allowed to be upset about things that happen to you. You're allowed to be upset about, you know, how people treat you now and then and things like that, and to set boundaries. So, you know, the shadow self is a really important part of the healing journey. So I think that, you know, yes, he does get a bad rap. He is scary, quote unquote, because of the Lucifer and Satan and fallen angel kind of energy going on here. But I don't think that it means that you're inherently bad or he's something to fear or anything like that. I think it's just a reminder that you maybe just need to kind of do a little bit of healing and work on yourself a little bit. It's sort of like getting the devil card in tarot. Like it's just kind of this, there's impulses, there's, you know, things we need to sort out, that kind of thing. So don't worry, it's fine. But don't get scared. I can already sense a lot of my audience is going to get scared by this, but don't be scared. It's going to be fine. Okay, so let's look at our cutesy wootsy little unicorn cards. It's very interesting because I don't really go for all this kind of love and light stuff. I've had like many discussions with some of my spiritual friends about this exact thing, this shadow self and the love and light and kind of the fear of the shadow that a lot of practitioners have. I'm going off on a tangent, I know, but I think this will make a lot of sense for a lot of people. That like we can do the cutesy wootsy stuff all the time. Like we can say, you know, you're great, you're gonna be healed, everything's gonna be fine. you're gifted very soon, you know, that kind of thing. And that's all amazing. And I'm not negating that because it's true as well. But sometimes we got to get into that nitty gritty, right? And I just think that that's a really interesting part of all this. When I did that, my, so weird. I have incense that was lit and it just, see that? It just went like poof, and it just, oh, that was weird. Anyway, okay. So we have the unicorn cards. So we have you are gifted and very soon. These are cool. These are exciting. These just fell out immediately when I was shuffling. So it says you are very intelligent and talented, and it says what you are asking for will happen soon in a happy way. Now I know I was ragging on cutesy wootsy stuff, but you know, it is going to happen. And I'm not just telling you that, obviously, because I just went on a rant about why I'm not just telling you that, but I kind of feel like it's very interesting because you just need to kind of integrate some of this darker side of yourself into this part of yourself, and then it seems like you'll kind of unlock these gifts and you'll get what you want, what you've been manifesting, what you really kind of dream of here. I think maybe you dream of having this kind of family unit that's different to yours or whatever it is. So I think that's really, really interesting. I'm gonna just look at the guidebook for a little bit more information on these two cards as well, so I can read it directly. Okay, it says, this card wants you to know that you're very intelligent. Like a high-speed computer, you have the ability to learn and memorize a lot of material. You're especially gifted in finding out which topics interest you, and you also have the gift of creativity. With your wisdom, your ability to see things in a special way, you can be successful at almost anything. So this could be, this actually kind of talks about people who have like different ways of learning and maybe have experiences where they don't feel like they're very smart. So maybe that's part of this healing journey here for you as well. Maybe you are someone who is maybe neurodivergent, or you kind of just learn things in a different way. So I think that that would be a really interesting kind of maybe little call for you here too. But also a message that like, don't let it get you down. Don't let any differences stand in your way, because you clearly are very capable, intelligent, and smart. So as part of this healing journey, I think you're going to kind of reclaim some of that as well. Some of those gifts that maybe the creativity as well, that you sort of lost a little bit of. So I think that it's a really beautiful, just like little reminder that like you do have the power within you. You do have that cool gift, that, you know, that drive, and also that, you know, like natural talent and intelligence. So I love that for you. And let's look up very soon. I think we kind of know what this one means anyway, but still. This card wants you to know that your prayers are coming true very soon. There's no need to hurry or rush, and there's definitely no need to worry at all. After all, worry can slow down your wishes. Your wishes are coming true in what's known as divine timing. So everything is happening exactly at the perfect time for everyone involved. Well, well, well. So if you are wishing for your manifestations, like your dream family, this kind of thing, or a dream job or whatever, it kind of is talking about that divine timing thing. Now, you know, that's a little contentious sometimes in the world of manifestation, because it's like, well, I am God, I can do what I want, which I get, and I get that, and I appreciate that. But also, sometimes the puzzle pieces have to come together. Like, if you're wishing for a family, you need someone to have the family with, right? Like, if you're wishing to get married, you need someone to marry. If you don't have someone, like, in mind, you're going to need to kind of manifest them first and then manifest the marriage. You know what I mean? Like, in baby steps, I suppose. But also, they need to be healed themselves, because you don't want to manifest someone who's not right for you right now, and you've just got them because you want them, you saw them, you think they're hot, whatever. Like, you want to manifest someone who is ready. So if you want this situation, you need to just wait a little while, divine timing. Things wouldn't have worked out otherwise in the timing of the world, of your, like, for things to work out for the best good for you, I think. Whether that's relationships, whether that's, you know, job stuff, whether that's your own healing as well, the shadow self that you had to go through. So I think by the end of the summer, you'll be getting whatever this thing is that you want, that you've been manifesting. You just need to hold tight for just a little while longer and enjoy the good things that are coming your way anyway, and all the beautiful things that are happening for you. And then to kind of top it all off, cherry on top of the cake, you're kind of getting this beautiful manifestation that you really, really wanted. I love that. Yay. And then as our last card here, we have this angel card from the Healing with Angel Oracle cards. And this is focus. I think this speaks a lot to what's been going on here, that you kind of just need to lock in a little bit. It says, think about what you want, not what you don't want. That's very interesting. And guard your thoughts carefully, because they create your experiences. So I guess that you're someone who's very into manifestation, someone who can manifest by accident very, very quickly. Some people are very good at it, that they do it by accident, and that can sometimes have, you know, different effects, I suppose. So I think that, yeah, definitely just kind of watch what you're thinking, watch what you're doing, and just kind of focus your thoughts into a place of what you want and how you want to heal. Of course, don't think just happy thoughts all the time. That's not helpful, you know, and that's not what I'm suggesting at all. But I definitely think just kind of watch a little bit of what you're thinking about other people. Maybe you're accidentally, you know, wishing ill will on people, and then bad things happen to them, and then you feel guilty, and then we're kind of back here, you know, that kind of thing. So just, you know, and also kind of lock in a little bit with what you do want with all this stuff, because it's all there for you. You just need to kind of leap a little bit. Like, you just need to do a little bit of this work, and then it's all actually going to happen for you. So yeah, it sounds like a really interesting summer. A summer of healing, a summer of fun, a summer of gratitude, a summer of getting what you want, definitely. But we just need some steps to work there. We've got the whole 3 months basically. This will probably go on until September. We've got all this time to think about these things, to, you know, integrate all this stuff in your life. But I think it's going to be a really nice time. So thank you so much for listening, group 1. And I will see you in the outro if you want to go to the outro, or I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi group 2, welcome to your reading. You picked the cute little 1970s style aviator sunglasses. I really like these, I think they're very cute. Okay, so we have a lot of different things going on here with this particular reading. We have our usual tarot, but we also have some of these different angel cards, and we also have this tiny little mini tarot, which is the Art Nouveau tarot. So you got 5 cards. Very nice. These all kind of came out very quick, so I was a bit like, oh, I'm seeing a pattern forming. And then we have our little mini, and then we also have this angel card. This is the Advice from the Angels deck. We have 2 unicorns, which are so cute. I love those. And then we also have another angel card here, which is the Ask an Angel guidebook here. And then we also have our usual angel healing cards. So we've got a lot going on here. There's like so much to kind of unpack here, even just visually. There's so much going on. So first things first, I'll just get a little small disclaimer out of the way, which I do with anything to do with angels. I have a bunch of angel cards. I just do. They're just in my house. But it doesn't mean that, you know, I am pushing any sort of specific beliefs onto anybody. If you don't believe in angels, if you don't think, you know, that's for you, that's fine. You can just kind of call them your spirit team or something like that, or like a guide of some kind, or a guardian of some kind to kind of mind you on the, you know, other dimensional planes and things like that. It's okay. It doesn't have to be all about angels. And it's nothing to do with any specific religion as well. These angels are just kind of around as well. So just as a disclaimer before I get into it. So let's start off with your tarot. So we have a few things going on here with this this spread. So we've kind of started one way and then we kind of come out of it. So your summer is going to be a little bit of like struggly in the beginning, and then we kind of move over it and we get towards some really good stuff in the end. So woo, I love that for you. So we are starting out, this is the Everyday Witch Oracle, Everyday Witch Tarot as well, if you want to have a look at that. I do not get any commission, or I do not have any affiliate links, but I just really enjoy this tarot deck and I think it's great for everybody. Anyway, this is the moon. Now, the moon can be a bit of a weird one, right? Because it is kind of all about this sort of things you don't really know. Everything is not what it seems. You know, we've got this energy here with the little cat looking at himself as he's a panther. So it's like this vibe of like, something's not quite adding up here, you know, and this could be about someone in your life. This could be about you as well. You could be in your Delulu era yourself. Maybe you're not, you know, maybe there is a problem that you're just not really acknowledging, or you just don't want to see for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe, or maybe there could be people around you who are pretending to be one way but actually are another way. So it just is one of those things that something's not quite adding up, and it's a bit murky and it's a bit strange. Time will tell with that one. So you've got the whole summer to kind of figure out what's going on, whether it's you being delusional, whether it's other people being, you know, shady and secretive. We'll figure that out. I do feel like there is definitely something going on with a group of people though, because we have this 3 of Pentacles, and that can sometimes be like to do with different perspectives in work and feeling a little bit underappreciated, or feeling like you are not getting the attention or whatever you deserve. Like the people are constantly going on with different ideas and talking over you and just not appreciating you, I suppose. Pentacles is to do with work, generally speaking. It's to do with like how we make our money, our career, how we grow things up from the ground. So it could be to do with that, but it is at its core some kind of a differing perspectives going on. So this could also be a friendship thing, or it could be friends that you work with in some capacity. And I think they're definitely directly tied to each other, that maybe the people who are surrounding you at this point in your life are not, they don't have your best interests at heart, and maybe they're kind of not ganging up on you in like a bad way, but maybe they are working together a little more than you think that they are, collaborating a little bit more than you think they are, to kind of push a certain narrative that you don't want to push. So it could be as simple as you work in an office with 3 people, you know, 2 of them are seeing, you know, hanging out a little bit more or something, and they are like, oh, I think this is the way we should do this. And then the other, you know, 2 people don't really know each other, so they're not like ganging up either. So it's sort of a 2 against 1 in a way, even though there's like one other person around. So it could be like that, like there's a sort of accidental coalition happening, and it's not accidental like they're not accidentally doing it, they're doing it on purpose, but it feels like oh, we just happen to agree on everything. That's so weird, you know, but actually there's pre-planning involved with that. So just be aware. It could be a friendship thing as well, that maybe friends are kind of ganging up on you or something. So I just think that you definitely need to kind of nip that in the bud and try and figure out what's going on there. And that will be the start of the summer. So don't worry, the whole summer won't be like shady and confusing. You kind of move on from it very quickly, and it might be to do with work because we have two pentacles straight away after each other. So if it is a work thing, there's some sense of forward movement going on anyway, so it's okay. So like I said, that there could be a lot of, you know, different movement going on here with this Knight of Pentacles. There's this vibe here definitely of like a forward sense of movement within, you know, how you make your money work, that kind of thing. So this could be like enough is enough, and then you kind of decide like you need to get a new job or move on to something different in the summer, maybe take a break for the summer and then get a new job somewhere else or something. But it definitely feels like whatever's happening, you are kind of a bit enough is enough and need to move on. That could be moving on from that particular friend group, like not seeing them as much and enjoying your time with other friends, or it could just be that you actually just see an opportunity and you go and you take it. But it honestly feels like the best thing you could do, because the next two cards are so happy. They're so like yes, yes, yes. So if that opportunity arises or offers itself, go take it. Just don't even think twice, to be honest. You need to just move on and take it. There's so much forward movement going on with this. Like, you might be usually quite reluctant to change, but I feel like this is so you need to change that you're like, yeah, I'm going. I need to go, that kind of thing. And I love that for you, because the next two cards we have are the Sun and the Ace of Cups. Like, hello. We went from the Moon to the Sun. Thematically, that makes a lot of sense. I love that for you. I think that's really fun. We kind of went from this sense of uncertainty and not knowing who our real friends are into this energy of like, if I could lift it, into frolicking in the sun and having fun with your friends. Literally, like, we've got this really fun energy. This is kind of like a family energy, but it can also be friends. Beautiful sunflowers, beautiful sun beaming down on you, just this beautiful summery energy. I always love when I get this in a summer based reading, because I'm like, well, yeah, that's the summer. Yeah, so I feel like it's this beautiful kind of vibe of like, that's the best thing you could ever do, whether that's taking a little break and having a bit of a summer holiday, or moving on to something else, and starting a new job. It just seems like whatever it is, it's a big yes. This is a huge yes of a kind of card. So just, yeah, like, it seems really, really, really positive. I'm really excited for you. And then we also have this Ace of Cups, which is very much this vibe of like, my cup runneth over. We've got all these like abundance kind of vibes going on here. It just seems like so many good opportunities are coming your way. And I love that. I think that's really, really exciting. I think that it's really, I'm not even like saying that much in this reading, to be honest, because it's just sort of like, you have a problem, you need to solve it, you solved it. Like, that's basically what's going on here. I think you sort of maybe know what's going on here already. And now you're like, yeah, exactly. Just confirmation that I need to move on, or I need to go somewhere new. So yeah, it seems like it's the best thing you ever do, because there's so much abundance going on here in every aspect of your life too, because cups is, you know, to do with like our more heart center and all that stuff. So it's very like emotionally fulfilling for you as well, this new job or this new chapter in your life, whether you're taking a break or not. Maybe you're spending more time with your family or your friends, and you're kind of feeling like, oh, these are my real friends, these are the real people I should be around, instead of this energy here. So, you know, even just looking at that visually, like 3 and 3, like sad and then like so happy, like, it definitely makes a lot of sense that like you're kind of, yeah, you're definitely like changing up a lot about yourself and your feelings, and it just seems like you're in a really happy place in the next little while. Very, very good summer. I love that for you. And look, again, we have more confirmation here with this. I can never pick these up. I need to get like a mat or something. And we have this is the Art Nouveau Tarot Mini. It's so cute. I love these mini cards. They're great. You can just bring them anywhere. But this is the 10 of Cups. So like, hello, this is the Happily Ever After card. The last group got this one as well. And this is a great little reminder that, look how small it is in my hand. This is a great little reminder that everything is working in your favor. Things are going your way. We've got this Sun card and this 10 of Cups, and everything just seems so like happy, and like it's all really just like ready for you to kind of take charge of, take hold of. So when the opportunity knocks, do not say no. Even if your instinct is to be like, I'm so beaten down by this energy, you want to say no. Don't say no, because it seems like you're about to unlock a lot of abundance, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. It just seems like everything is kind of falling into place for you. So be ready for it and don't mess it up, basically. Okay, I'm gonna do these next, and then I'll go over here, and then we'll go here and then here and then here, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So we've got this is the advice from the angels. This is an angel in action card. These, I've literally never seen this before, ever, but I found them when I was going to look for some candles to light, which you can see here today. So I was like, oh, these are cute, let me see what these are. So this is what it says. It says, treat everyone you meet with love. They may be an angel in disguise. So there you go. It says angels are able to manifest in different forms. Very often the guise chosen is not what you would expect. Remember that angels are non-denominational, and pictures we may have of blonde blue-eyed angels are not our own imagination too. So it's basically saying that like, you never know I'll show you this so you can kind of read it if you want to like screenshot it or something. But it basically is like, you never know who, you know, might be an angel, who might be someone who, you know, would need a little bit of extra help. I also think it's that vibe of like, you never know someone's story too. So treat everybody with kindness, because, you know, somebody who's like, I don't know, cut you off in traffic could have a reason for that. Or, you know, a barista that's like rude to you. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe something really bad happened in their personal life. I don't know. Like, you know, it's a good way to just remind yourself of that. You know, obviously if someone's rude to you, you're allowed to react to that, of course. But, you know, like, it's not the end of the world if someone's a little bit snappy with you, basically. Yeah. So I think it's just a nice little reminder that like while you're kind of on this healing journey, like you still, even though you're having this situation where people are being snarky to you and some people are maybe plotting against you, that like you can still treat people with a lot of compassion, a lot of love, and like that shows a lot more about your character than theirs, but it shows a lot more about you and your character, you know, than anything else, because you're still being kind and you're still being, you know, courteous and helpful and sweet to people, even though people are trying to actively destroy you in some sense. So yeah, like that's just a reminder of like the sort of person that you are as well. And you might be dealing with this right now and you're feeling very stressed and all that stuff, and that's just a reminder as well that like obviously things will eventually work out. You just need to kind of look in and get there. My cat keeps scratching at things, so I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background. I'm trying to get him out of the room, but he won't do it. He wants to be here, he wants the reading as well. He's in group 2. I lied, I said I would go here, but I'm actually going to go here next. This is the Ask an Angel guidebook. So these are like actual specific angels, if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, I'm not going to lift it because I can't. And you got Archangel Raphael. So maybe that means something to you. Maybe he often appears for you in other readings or in your own research or whatever. So this is all about health. I'll just read a little bit of what it says in the guidebook. I won't read the whole thing because it's really big. But true health occurs when mind, body, and spirit exist in a balanced state of harmony. When one aspect of health becomes imbalanced, it affects all the other aspects too. This is something we see constantly in our lives. When our mind becomes stressed, strained, over or underworked, our bodies react immediately. We may experience digestive problems, sleep problems, headaches, or worse. Otherwise, when the body is in pain, congested, or restricted, we may feel anger, stress, or depression. So it's basically telling you that, you know, you must look at all the different parts of your like mindset and body to like kind of have an overall health aspect. So basically just do a little checkup of yourself. And also kind of connecting to spirit and being part of something bigger. It gives you perspective and allows your body to feel strong and centered. It's all about grounding. And yeah, so if you've been experiencing illness or disharmony of any kind, it may be time for you to tune into your body, mind, emotion, and spirit, and to find the root of what's causing you pain, or deeper unexpressed, unresolved, on a deeper unexpressed resolved level, so you can take the action necessary to clear the problem. I don't know why I suddenly forgot how to read there, but I did. So yeah, so I think that's really interesting kind of with what's been going on here. So maybe as part of this whole thing, you have been feeling a little bit under the weather, like maybe you've been getting a lot of headaches, maybe you've been getting a lot of, you know, like bad sleep, that kind of thing, just because you're quite stressed about this whole thing, because stress does affect the body a lot. Like we all know that, but I think this is just a reminder that, like, you know, you need to kind of look after your own health and look after your overall health, like that's spiritual health and emotional health and obviously your body too. So yeah, so just kind of I think some of this break time will be really good for you in that as well. Maybe also get a little checkup, you never know, I don't know. I can't diagnose anything over here, but I'm just saying maybe that's also just something to think about too. So let's look at let's look at our unicorns, and then we'll look at our angel. Okay, so our first angel, an angel magical unicorn card we have is Happy Thoughts, and it says, to feel happier right now, think of a memory or something else that makes you smile. And that's very cute. I'm gonna lift that up actually so you can see it. That's very cute. It kind of just makes you think about, like, you know, better times, nostalgia, and like be grateful for what you do have. In the guidebook it says, the unicorns say that happiness is actually quite simple. It comes from thinking happy thoughts. By drawing this card, the unicorns say that you've been thinking some unhappy thoughts lately, and they want you to turn your life around by changing and thinking. So I think this is like, that's a very passive aggressive way of telling you that you need to be a little bit more positive. I sometimes think that some of these cards are a little passive aggressive because they're very love and light vibes, and it's kind of like, oh, well, why can't you? Why can't you just be grateful? It's like, well, some people have a lot going on in their lives, you know? And like we were saying here, you never know somebody's journey, right? So I kind of feel like, yes, while it is good to think happy thoughts, obviously some days you're not going to be thinking happy thoughts. If people are plotting against you, it's hard to be like, that's great, you know? Like, that's just not how human beings are. So I think this is just kind of drawing on gratitude of like trying to find the good in situations, not necessarily that situation, but like other things in your life. Like maybe while this is happening, you could think of, well, at least I have, I don't know, like a nice partner at home, or at least I have good friends at home, or at least I have, I don't know, a nice dinner waiting for me, or I can go and watch this movie that I like, you know, seeking comfort. So basically like just kind of the nice things that can kind of get you through the day until you're in this place where all the thoughts are a lot more happy overall. And then you can kind of be really grateful about it and really kind of, you know, look at it from that level too. So I think it's just kind of a try and be positive right now while we get through this situation as best you can. Obviously, you're allowed to feel however you feel. But you know, I think it will kind of help you with eventually wanting to take on the opportunity, because it's hard to come from a place of, you know, pure negativity and then try and get that opportunity going, basically, because it's like you're so down on yourself that you'd be like, oh, they'd never pick me, you know, instead of practicing a little bit of gratitude and then you're like, oh, okay, work. Like, you know, I think I can definitely take that on, basically. And the next one we have is Wish Upon a Star, which feels like a very lucky little break for you here. It says, make a wish and expect the very best. I love that. Let's see what's in the guidebook for it. This is really weird because it says, here's a secret to a happy life. Expect the best. So I guess they're kind of both telling you to maybe shift the mindset a little bit, and in that manifestation-y kind of vibe, to be like, okay, what if the best happens, instead of being like, you know, everyone hates me, what if the worst, like I'm only gonna get the worst, kind of just be like, what if. And that's a really hard place to be in if you're downtrodden, like mentally. So I think maybe some of that health checkup is like good for you, like a mental health checkup. But this Wish Upon a Star is all about, yeah, like, so if you have fears from your future, your fears may come true. It's much better to feel happy about your future, and you can do this by looking for stars in the sky and making wishes, and trust that they'll come true, but maybe in a different or better way than you expect. Your trust is the magic that makes wishes happen, and the more you trust, the better. So that's really interesting. I think that definitely makes a lot of sense with what's kind of been going on here. You know, whether you want to actually wish upon a star literally, I don't know. This is kind of more geared towards children, so I always just do them because they're really cute, but they are kind of a, you know, a baby deck in a way. So yeah, but like if that's something that you want to do, manifest things, like you need to kind of believe that it's capable, like it could possibly happen, that you're capable. So why are you manifesting things if you are manifesting this new job to get out of the situation, whatever it is? Why are you manifesting that, but like continuously telling yourself, I'm not good enough, they'll never want me, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that, you know, like go where you're valued, but don't like make them like, don't expect no one to value you because people have historically not valued you. Go somewhere where you are valued already, right? So just kind of, I'm so like, I'm in my feelings at this point, because I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. And I think that, yeah, like you just need to kind of snap out of it essentially and just kind of move on into this new thing. So manifestation is going to be big, happy thoughts, wishing upon a star. Just try and kind of low-key gaslight yourself into feeling like you can do it, and then wait for the opportunity will come, basically. So yeah, but feel your feelings. If you are upset, of course you're allowed to be upset. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to be upset. Everybody has bad days, everybody makes mistakes, everybody has bad days, you know, but like don't make it the whole thing of like assuming the worst and then the worst will always happen, basically. So then we have our little angel healing card here. This is intention. I think I've gotten this in every single reading I have done on YouTube so far, so I can nearly tell you guys what this means already without the guidebook. So it says, anyway, just in case, your intentions create your experiences. What do you intend to happen? And make sure your thoughts and feelings reflect your true intentions. Right. Yeah, exactly. So that's basically telling you the exact same thing I just told you. That's pretty funny. It's all about kind of empowering thoughts, you know, replacing negative mental habits, infusing your intentions with love, and basically just like seeing yourself as a happy, successful, peaceful person. So, you know, definitely just believe and eventually it will happen. You know, like wishing is the key. Wishing is the magic. They just said that. So yeah, so definitely a lot of manifestation stuff needs to kind of happen for you. It seems like it's going to be a really fun summer though. Like once you kind of unlock that key and you get what you want, it's going to be like boom, boom, boom. Basically, you're just like, you're ready for it. You just need to like let yourself be ready for it. Like on some level you're ready for it, but you just need to mentally be ready for it, I suppose. Yeah, so it sounds like a really nice, fun summer ahead for you. I'm very excited. I hope that you have a good time, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the outro if you want to go to the outro, or if not, I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi, group 3. Okay, oh, you can see me in the back of this. Hello. Hi, group 3. This is your reading. You picked these very cute black sunglasses. I've been wearing a lot of these at the moment, so if you know me in real life, you've definitely seen me wear these. Definitely from the personal collection. All right, so this is going to be your summer. What's going on for your summer with you? You've got a lot going on here. So we have tarot cards. We have, this is the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, my personal favorite, and will always probably feature in here. We got 5 tarot cards. We've got a little tiny Art Nouveau mini tarot card as well. I think these are just so cute. We have this advice from the angels deck or card as well, and we also have some of our favorites. We have the unicorns, which we always love, and then we also have this Ask an Angel, which I think is really interesting and new, and then we also have our usual angel card as well. So lots going on here. I'm going to center that. Lots going on here. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so first things first, I just want to say, what the hell are you doing? No, I'm kidding. And cut the cameras. No. So, okay, I'm just curious. Okay, because we got Justice going directly into the Devil, and then we also got the Tower here. So, yeah. Right. Okay, so I'm not gonna, oh god, I hit the thing I'm using to film. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna rag on you, don't worry, but I just am like a bit like, what was that, you know? Okay, so let's get into it and we'll figure out what the hell's going on for you this summer, because it seems like it's gonna be a little bit of a interesting one, maybe a little bit of a rocky one, maybe a little, are we going back to a situationship this summer, Diva? Okay. Anyway, so we have the Knight of Wands. So we start the summer off with this kind of energy of like wanting to tackle things, wanting to slay this dragon, right? So it's this vibe of like, we're ready to move on, we're ready to do things. We got this Knight, it's like a real sense of forward whoosh movement kind of energy going on here. So it's great, it's fun, it's exciting. Yeah, and I think that's great for your personal development too. Like maybe there's been some stuff in work as well that like you kind of want to tackle and you want to like really, you know, put yourself out there for. Maybe there's like some deadline or something that is approaching, so now you need like to apply, and it seems like things are going really well. You kind of have a lot of ambition, you have a lot of that kind of drive, that I guess like the chutzpah to make things work, and look at you, it's working. It's definitely working. I think things are going well for you professionally. Sometimes they are a little rocky personally, but that's okay. That's part of life. We're fine. At least you have your health. Yeah. So the next one we have is this Page of Pentacles. I cannot ever lift these cards. So we have the Page of Pentacles, and this is again a kind of sense of forward movement going on here because we have a page. It's another kind of like wishy kind of card. And this energy is all about some kind of a big decision that needs to be made to do with how we're making our money, because Pentacles is also to do with how we're making our money. So I love this for you. I think this energy is very exciting, especially with that going on there, because you kind of like, you maybe applied for something or you made something happen in some regard, and now it's like, whoo, here we go. It's actually gonna happen. You have the two choices ready for you. Now, I would say take a little bit of time with this decision. If you can wait a couple of weeks or something, I think that would be great for you. But it kind of seems like there's a lot of really good aspects where you are now versus where you're going. So just make sure that things make sense, basically. It's not like as much of a decision as like say a Two of Pentacles, but there's definitely an element of choice there because you've got this like flipping a coin. So it's definitely an element of choice with this entire thing, or an element of like not 100% sure where you're going with that map and stuff. So just be aware. Also, look who it is. It's the Tower. How fascinating. But yeah, so I kind of feel a little bit like, yeah, like the decision you need to make, just take a little bit of time thinking about it, but don't spend too long thinking about it. Obviously, don't overthink about it. I think that might be a problem for you. But because you are definitely capable of doing whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, but once you get what you want, you're a bit like, oh god, can I do this? Am I really able for it, or do I really want it? So you kind of have a bit of a small crisis of confidence, which delays a bit of decision making, but it's okay because you don't need to worry so much. Basically, you'll be fine. So then we have this Justice card, and this is kind of where things are starting to kind of take a bit of a turn. The Justice card is all about trying to find that balance, trying to get really, you know, getting everything in line. There's a lot of this kind of getting things in line, balancing things going on here for sure, and like, it's interesting. I think maybe you've been working a while on all this stuff and now you're sort of getting your ducks in a row. I don't know. And like now there's some opportunities that maybe you weren't really considering, or a change in career you weren't really considering or something. I don't know. But it kind of feels like you need to definitely find some sense of balance going on here. So maybe something happened in your life where you need to kind of regain control in some facet of it. I don't know. But yeah, so with the Justice card, this is all about trying to find the balance, trying to, you know, regain a bit of control there in whatever it is in your life. I think this is probably a little bit more of a personal life kind of card based on what's going on here. So I think things are going very well for you in terms of your career. I think that like you're really finding your feet, I would say, at this point. Like you're finding the balance, the work-life balance, that kind of thing. Probably by the middle of the summer, like whatever, August maybe by now, because like we're in July now. So yeah, I definitely think that it's really good. But yeah, I think that maybe there are some parts of your life that like you do need to kind of work on a little bit more, like maybe the personal life just a little bit more, because that leads us into our Devil card here. Diva. Oh god, he's flying away from me. The Devil Diva. Hello. Okay, so look now, okay. The devil card is one of those cards that it's like you're doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. You are, you know, engaging in situations you know you should not be engaging in. This is why I said, oh, situationship summer. Maybe you're going back to an ex, maybe you're going back to a situationship, maybe you are getting into feelings a little bit, stalking them online, and you're like, you know, looking to see if they're with somebody new, and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna unblock you, hit you up, whatever, that kind of thing. That's okay, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but like just make sure that's what you want to do. Okay, just make sure that's actually what you want to do. Like in your heart of hearts, do you want to keep going back to this person or go back to them again or whatever it is? Do you? Do you? I don't know. If it's not to do with relationships, which it might not be, it could just be that you're kind of doing things that purposely hurt yourself, like, you know, like stalking people online who you went to school with, who you think are doing much better than you are, or who have something that you want, or, you know, making yourself feel bad because you're looking up like, you know, youngest billionaire ever question mark or whatever it is, like just making yourself feel bad in some capacity. This could also be, you know, using comfort methods that are not maybe great coping skills, like, you know, drinking a little too much, or eating too much, or eating, you know, a lot of fast food, or shopping too much when you don't have enough money to really spend on things. So it's just doing stuff that you know isn't necessarily good for you, and whatever facet of your personality that is. I do feel like it does have, for a lot of you, a lot of that kind of situationshipy kind of going back to an ex, unblocking the ex kind of mentality, and that's fine, but we just need to know that it can sometimes have consequences, okay? Okay, so we have this Chariot card next, and this energy is all about like really trying to move forward from whatever has been going on with this situation here. So I don't think you give this person, if you are giving them, you know, a chance, I don't think you give them much of a chance. If they mess up once again or they ghost you once again, that's it. We're back where we started. You know, it's like, oh, I remembered who you are. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of feel like there's a lot of that kind of like, I needed to go back through, just have a little taste of it, just to be like, oh yeah, this was my life and I forgot how much it sucked. So you're like moving forward again to be like, vroom, 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 let's ride, let's go on to greener pastures, see you never again, that kind of thing. So I mean, I think it sorts itself out kind of. I think it mostly does. Like we do have this tower here, so maybe for some of you it doesn't sort itself out and you just need to learn the lesson again. If it's not to do with the situationship, it's just you moving on from those patterns, breaking those cycles of like, you know, coping mechanisms and things like that that just like aren't very good for you. So now you're moving on with this Chariot energy. It's all about like a big change, a big forward movement. This could also be with like starting the job as well. It just seems like there's a big change on the horizon, probably towards the end of the summer, and it's like irreversible, not irreversible change like in a bad way, but like that kind of vibe of like something kind of had to end for something else to start. So that's why I'm kind of like, it's the end of an era, maybe for this situationship or whoever this person is in your life. Yeah, but we do have that Tower card as well here, and this means, yeah, like I guess for some of you this can be a bit of a tower moment, maybe a bit of a, we're realizing things in a way that maybe is harsh, let's say harsh. This is a very dramatic tower. Like, this is the Art Nouveau deck, so things are a bit dramatic anyway. Like, you know, the art style is really beautiful, but like, yeah, this is a lot. The one that I have in the Everyday Wish Tower is a little bit nicer in terms of like gentleness, but this card is like literally it's on fire. People are, you know, fleeing for their lives. It's dramatic, okay? So yeah, it can be that kind of energy sometimes. That vibe of like, I need to get out, I need to go. And I get that, you know, that could be to do with this Devil card as well. They're very, to me, they'd be very like interlinked in this particular reading. So there's definitely that vibe of like, yeah, of like things really need to kind of crash down to eventually rebuild. If we don't go straight to the rebuilding, we'll have a crash out and then rebuild, like it's so over, we're so back kind of thing. And I mean, that's all just part of learning. You might need to do this cycle again until we get here. So it's like you do this, and then there's the fork in the road, and you can go that way, and then do it again, and then go that way, or you can do it this, and then go that way, and that's it, right? So yeah, it's up to you in a sense. Obviously, we don't know. I don't know everyone's situation. I don't know what everyone's like doing. Whoever this person is, if they have a hold on you, I get it, obviously. But yeah, just be aware that for some of you, there may be this tower moment in the summer where things are crashing down, where things are kind of needing to be rebuilt, where it feels like you're at rock bottom, where you need to start over again. And that's not always a bad thing, you know? Sometimes things break down so that you can rebuild them way better, which would make sense with this kind of energy. But like, yeah, so I kind of feel like sometimes it's not the worst thing ever to have a tower moment. People really love to like be dramatic about it and like fatalize this whole entire thing. But I kind of just feel like sometimes things need to crash down. Sometimes you need to have the uncomfortable conversation. Sometimes you need to see someone once more time to see what they're really like, to see what like is really going on, this devil vibes behind them, you know, to kind of to know yourself a little bit better each and every time. I think that's really the point of life. A little bit, you know, it's part of the healing journey. So I wouldn't be too scared of this tower personally. I think that, you know, there's obviously a reason for it, but I also feel like it's nothing that you can't get over because we have this chariot anyway. So there will still be forward movement, even if it feels like you're at rock bottom, there will still be forward movement eventually. It might just take a little longer, that kind of thing. Okay, so this is the advice from the angels here. We got this angel in action. I think all of them are angel in action cards, actually. So it says, angels don't always blow their own trumpets, the noise be deafening. So I'll just leave this here so you can just kind of screenshot it if you want to, because it's quite long. But it basically just says that there's no need for angels to list all the wonderful things that they do. So there's no need to tell the world how wonderful you are when you do something wonderful for something else. Spontaneous acts of kindness need no fanfare. This is reading you. So I don't know if like maybe as part of this whole thing, you're kind of maybe advertising a lot of how like good you are as a person. Maybe you've kind of been in like LinkedIn mode a little bit. So maybe that's part of the reality check you're going to get with the tower, where like you don't need to constantly be like, look how great I am, because people don't really respond well to that. You know, it's possible. I think it's an interesting one to kind of get, because it is that kind of vibe of like you need to just be a little bit more humble. So maybe you are being humbled a little bit by this devil and possible tower energy. So, you know, it is what it is. I think that it's just a little nice reminder that you don't need to kind of always be talking about how good you are. If you are a good person, it will speak for itself. And I don't think, to be honest, you don't strike me as someone who is like bragging all the time, but maybe it accidentally comes across as bragging. I don't know. Sometimes when people talk about the work that they do, people don't like that. If it's like something that's actually important, or you make a lot of money or something like that, people don't really like that. So just kind of learn when to not share, because sometimes people can use that to take advantage of situations or to act like they don't like you or they think you're bragging, or they can use it against you essentially. So it might just be a reminder to kind of say a little less sometimes, you know. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here to this Archangel Raguel. I don't think I'm saying that right at all, but this guy here, I have never encountered this man before. I have never seen this deck before in my life until today, when I was looking for candles and I found these two decks. So I don't know who this is either. Do you know who this is? I'm gonna look up the guidebook to see what it says about him. These are all like specific angels that have like messages for you, so let's see. He's all about conflict resolution, Archangel Raguel. Conflict resolution occurs when polarities balance and heart and mind are able to harmonize. Like the positive and negative charges of an atom, polarities exist to balance the whole. Although polarities may seem like total opposites, they are actually connected at the core. It's just that they hold opposite effects of a thing in place so that the whole is actually balanced. If you're experiencing conflict with another person at this time, in order to heal the situation, you must see this person as a reflection of yourself. There may be something you don't want to look at in yourself or your life, and this person has now become a reflection of that. That's actually very interesting, kind of similar to what I was sort of saying with this, that they can use some of that stuff like against you. I think that this situationship or person or whatever you're kind of letting back in for whatever reason, if it is that kind of thing, there might be some conflict there. There might be this kind of we're too similar, we hate each other kind of thing going on here. So maybe look at how that could be, you know, speaking to you in this summer reading. It might not mean anything right now, but it might mean something in like 3 months. So it's funny how these things work. But yeah, so, you know, it definitely could be this vibe of like hating something about this other person or always being let down by something in this other person, but it's actually something that you do, and how to kind of heal that and how to kind of figure all of that out as well. So I definitely feel like that would be a really interesting thing to kind of look into in the future. I don't think that's really a for now message. I think with this devil card, I think that's connected to maybe the person relating to that and possibly how it could turn into a tower moment if the conflict isn't resolved in a way that feels like a good thing, or like if it just keeps, you know, bubbling up over and over again. So yeah, so then our last card we have, no wait, that's not our last card, we have these two and then this one. I'm skipping ahead of myself. So our unicorns, we have our curiosity and one step at a time. These are very cute. So we have start a project related to something you're curious about, and lots of little steps make big dreams come true. So I think those make a lot of sense with what's kind of going on here. I'll just get the guidebook to get more information. Okay, so for curiosity, this one says, what do you wonder about? What would you like to learn more about? Your curiosity is a roadmap that helps you know your soul's preferred direction. You're naturally curious about areas of life that are related to your divine mission. So that's really interesting. So it is that kind of vibe of like getting curious about certain aspects of your life, maybe with all this kind of new stuff going on, you know, with the chariot and this kind of energy with, you know, all the work stuff that could be happening. Maybe you're kind of getting a little bit of that spark back as well with the wands. That's fire. That could be a bit of spark too. So get a little bit more curious about different things in your life. Maybe there's something a bit different, like a new way to look at something that might help with this. That might help with this as well. Yeah, so it kind of feels like you need to just kind of give yourself a little bit of time to think on things and to get curious in a very neutral way instead of a way of like, oh, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, you know, that kind of vibe. So let me look up one step at a time. Okay, so it says, this card says that you have a big dream, but you may not know how to make it happen. The unicorns want you to know that your dream can come true if you'll focus on taking one small step at a time. If you just do 1 or 2 things a day related to the dream, it will come true more quickly than you can imagine. So it really is that kind of vibe of like practice makes perfect, of just like take it one day at a time, take it one step at a time. And I think as well, like this could be part of the beating yourself up for this situation, because if you are feeling like, oh my god, what am I doing, going back, tower, oh, I hate myself, that kind of thing, that's not going to help with the forward movement, okay? We need to take things one step at a time. There's a lot of forward movement going on in this, but I think that you kind of just need to like make sure that you're mentally and like physically and spiritually ready for these big changes. So do just take it one step at a time, especially with the curiosity. If there's something like creative involved with it, or if it's something that like you kind of maybe need a creative solution for it, I think that definitely just kind of doing a little bit a day is how you get there. I always say to people, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? You're not going to eat the whole thing in one chomp. You gotta like have little bites, you know, to get the whole thing done. So that's really just a reminder there as well that like you're not bad or wrong, air quotes, for, you know, going back to this situation or relying on old coping mechanisms that don't like serve you or help you. It's okay. You just need to kind of reframe it, restart again, one step at a time, one day at a time. So don't worry, it will be fine eventually. We just need to kind of get there. And then for our final card, actually this time, we have Blessings, which is a beautiful little card. I think it's such a pretty little angel. So it said, God and the angels are helping you right now. Continue to ask for their help and then accept when it comes, and it always does. The angels want you to know that you have extra blessings around you right now. Perhaps you have recently experienced some challenges, or you will. Maybe you're currently asking for some extra help. Either way, the angels surround you now with more divine love than ever. So it just is a nice little reminder that, you know, even when you are in these kind of darker times, it's funny because we have like this angel and then like the devil kind of vibe going on here. It's very like biblical core. But yeah, so I definitely feel like even though you may be under some real stress in the next few months with this situation, you definitely have like a team around you, a spirit team, guardian angels, whatever you personally believe in. I said God in the thing, but again, obviously, you know, no pressure about God or anything like that. Yeah, so it is that kind of energy of like, there are people around you on your spirit team, maybe ancestral side as well, who, and like past on loved ones, whatever, who like really want to see you be happy and see you be well. So they're just sending nice little things your way, these things as well, all in your way to make you be in this kind of excited mindset for a happy future. So I definitely feel like cut yourself some slack, okay? Because we've all fallen victim to situations, to coping mechanisms that aren't great for us. And just kind of like don't hate yourself. Basically, don't hate yourself about this. It's okay. We all make mistakes, and that's just part of being human, and I wouldn't even call it really a mistake. It's just one of those things. So yeah, so I hope that you have a good summer. Seems like you're gonna have a good summer in the end. Don't worry, things will progress and happen. You will have like beautiful blessings and stuff, so don't worry, things will be okay. We're just a bit of a chaotic, we're having a bit of a chaotic summer, but it's okay. But I hope you have a nice time, a good summer, and I'll see you in the outro if you want to stick around. It's like 2 more seconds after this, or if this is the end for you, bye. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. It was super fun to do this reading. I hope that you had a wonderful time learning all about how your summer is going to go. And thank you so much for all your support on this channel. I am going to do lots of more videos every single week. So if you like what I do, be sure to subscribe. And thanks so much again. Bye.